First, back-to-back for Kawhi. Just how do you think he came out and performed that game?
He performed good.
Overall, though, the trio of James, Zoo, and Kawhi just really carried you guys. I know it was obviously a team effort, especially defensively, but those guys carried the bulk of the offensive scoring. Just what do you make of the way they were able to bounce off each other, kind of with the scoring?
Yeah, just understand how we wanted to attack, and Zoo's presence inside is very forceful. So teams have to double team a lot of nights, and he's making the right pass and the right play. Kawhi just getting to his spots, taking advantage of mismatches, and James just reading the game. And so. It's going to be different, like I said, every night. But, those three guys were really good tonight. And so just having a professional win, to come out on the second night of a back-to-back and play the way we did, was pretty impressive.
So when you played the Mavs back in 21, you introduced it to the band for Tyronn Lue. And how much of that still stays with you as far as your offensive philosophy when you play certain teams?
Yeah, we touch the paint. We know we're a different team. When you get into the paint, teams are collapsing, over-helping. We're getting threes. If not, we get into the basket, to the free throw line. And so just, getting to the paint, and when we do that, everyone eats. And so we understand that. And so that's been our philosophy, like you said, since I've been here.
How do you look at the Dallas team, especially how they started? Like, they have positional size, especially at the four.
That's what we talked about before the game. I think the small Dinwiddie's 6'6",
Yeah.
and then Clay's 6'6", and then you have PJ who's 6'8". They have a big unit. And so going into the game, I thought rebounding would be a factor. Which it really did hurt us until the end of the first half, where they got, I think, 3 or 4 in one possession. But overall, I thought we did a decent job of, with a big lineup like that out there, just keep them off the glass and limited them to only 10 offensive rebounds.
What does it say that a team? It doesn't matter how big a team can line up. Like, you can still defend, rebound, and execute your offense, get to the paint, get to the rim effectively, regardless of size.
Yeah, just taking advantage of how they're playing us, taking advantage of, what we have the advantage in, whether it's pick and roll, whether it's post-ups, whether it's ISOs, and just, playing the game and making the right play, And so, with Kawhi being back and like I say, James playing, at a high level along with Zoo, we understand how we want to attack teams and how we want to play on a nightly basis, no matter how we're being defended.
Coach, it seems like this team has really hit their stride offensively. It seems like you guys are playing a lot faster in a transition. Rather James on the floor, rather Ben. They're finding guys in transition, semi-transition. What is it about your guys that has really started clicking? I know obviously Kawhi's getting his legs under Norm, coming back from injury, James doing what he does, but the others, they seem like you guys are playing with a certain pace now. At the beginning of the season, you said you don't like the way your offense was going, so your defense is carrying, but it seems like offensively you guys are really starting to hit your stride. What have you seen lately over the last month or so?
Getting Kawhi back, and playing more minutes, and then just getting our whole team. Like I said, being pushing the pace. Bogey has been great off the bench, along with DJ. It's been a total team effort, and then just getting our whole team back and playing together and understanding who we are. And so, I knew once Kawhi got back to being himself, I knew we'd be able to score the basketball. But we still got to have that defensive mentality, every single night. That's what's going to carry us. Because we know we're going to be able to score the basketball. But like you said, the pace is equivalent to touching the paint. If you're playing with pace, everybody's going to eat. We're going to share the basketball. Guys are going to get open shots. And that's how we got to play, So I think we're finally understanding who we are. We're getting it down now that we're healthy. And we just got to keep it going.
Ty, earlier you mentioned James' ability to read the game. Tonight you had 14 assists, but as you mentioned, the reads that he was making, throwing guys into open spaces near the rim. Is this one of the best passing games you've seen out of him since you've had him on the team in the last 18 months?
It's been a couple. It's been a few, where, he's just picking teams apart, and the biggest thing is, like I said, having 14 assists and only 2 turnovers. And having 7 turnovers as a team, that's huge for us, just to keep building on what we're trying to do. If we take care of the basketball, we're a tough team to beat, and we understand that. And so if we're not turning the ball over, teams are not getting free layups and dunks in transition, we can get back, and teams got to play against our half-court defense, which I like.
What has set him apart from other players that you've had as far as passing? Because Coach LeBron, is there any comparison between the two in terms of the way that they've been able to read the game?
Yeah, I mean, making the right play, making the right read, and making guys better. You know, that's what great players do, and that's what he's been able to do.
Hey, Coach, with the last 6 minutes of game clock in the game, we saw Cam and Max Christie together as brothers on the court. Some thoughts that you might maybe have about that he never had so many brother couples in this league, like never before. So some thoughts about that. Those two together.
One, they're rich. You get two brothers in the league together. That's huge. But no, just you know, just the hard work, and I think, like I said, Cam be able to see his older brother, you know, to be able to come to who he is, develop, play for the Lakers. You know, you get traded to Dallas, he's a really good player, and then want to follow your brother's footsteps. You put in extra work and work hard to get to that spot, and he's done it. And you know, he's been in the G League a lot this year, but he's really developing. He's young. I think he's 19. You know, and so. And then seeing those two guys on the floor together, I mean, it's special. They look like twins, really, but it's special. You know, it's a special moment. And so, the last time we played them, I think, was it here or maybe no, Dallas, whatever. We tried to get one on the floor so they can guard each other, and it was a cool moment. So, you know, just I mean, to be blessed to have your brother playing alongside of you in the NBA.
Do you maybe see there a reason why, like these days, we have so many of these brother couples in the whole league, like never before?
I don't know. Maybe I need to have some kids to find out. I mean, the way they getting paid right now, need somebody to take care of me.
So one of the things that Kawhi has talked about in recent seasons is that championship teams have a certain feel. There's certain qualities that they display during the regular season. You obviously know what that feels like as a player and a coach. This recent run that you guys are on, does it have that feel of the championship teams that you've been a part of?
Yeah, I mean, when you go to a game and you feel like you got a chance to win every night, you know, it says a lot about your team and who you are, you know. And so it's just a special unit, special group. Haven't had a chance to be together for a long period of time, but the guys are figuring it out. And like I said, the run we've been on is because of those guys. You know, like I said, put ego aside. You know, it doesn't matter whose night it is, be able to play through the game. And the biggest thing for us is just win games. And they've been able to do that. They've been able to put personal things aside in order to win games. And that's huge when you're trying to win at a high level.
Thanks, Coach.